Supposed to disperse some amount of money as passed by this Senate to every county. Once the governors receive this money, they are supposed to utilize it as per the budget that the county assemblies have passed. Mr. Speaker, as they do that, it is our mandate as a Senate to keep on checking on how they are using the disbursements, Mr. Speaker. And that's why we have two important committees. That is the CIPIC and CIPAC. CIPIC on checking on the Auditor General's inquiries or audit queries. And of course, when it comes to CIPAC, no, the other way around, Mr. Speaker. CIPAC is on the books of accounts, and CIPIC is on investments in the counties, Mr. Speaker. Even the standing committees, Mr. Speaker, are allowed to invite governors and ask them questions on the running of county affairs. It is at this particular time, Mr. Speaker, some governors are not able to honor such invitations. Once they're invited once or twice, the committee may want to issue summons. We have issued summons, Mr. Speaker, and some governors have refused to appear before the committee. I'm speaking about the governors because they are the most notorious people who decline the invitations of the summons. Mr. Speaker, the amount that was put in the previous law, or in the law that we are amending, was 500,000, which is just pocket change to some governors, Mr. Speaker. And that's why I agree with everyone who is saying even 2 million is little. What we should do, Mr. Speaker, in the amendment that I will be recommending, is to have not less than 2 million, but not more than 10 million. So that now the committee can have enough time to see this governor has been invited so many times, this is what he has been saying. A good example is the governor of Isiolo. He is out there trying to malign the name of this good Senate, saying he cannot come. Even if he's invited, he cannot come. What do you do to such a governor, Mr. Speaker? You give him the heaviest fine ever so that he understands this is the Senate of Kenya, the one and only, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Karungo, the Senator for Nyandarua wishes to inform you.
Yeah, I wish to be informed.
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I would have been surprised if he refused not to be informed. I just wanted to actually use the very specific words, I think the verbatim of what the governor has said, that the only people who can hold him accountable, he can only answer to the people of Isiolo, not the Committee of Parliament, not the Senate itself. Nobody can talk to him, nobody can ask him questions, apart from the people of Isiolo. If it is not such a person that, if you cannot take action on such a person, then what becomes of the space of Parliament? It is that information that I wanted to pass.
Thank you very much, Senator for Nyandarua, for that information. And the good governor should read Article 2 of the Constitution, that the same people that he is talking about, they have delegated power to the Parliament. We are elected, Mr. Speaker. And he should also read Article 125 of the Constitution that says that Parliament can summon anybody to come to this house. So, Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, can you imagine having a governor like that who has no respect for this Senate? It should give any committee leeway to give that governor a fine. But once we give a fine, Mr. Speaker, how do we effect that? I think within the law, we should also say any governor who is seated before the next election, before you are cleared by IEBC, you should also be cleared by Parliament, Mr. Speaker. So that when you are taking your papers to IEBC to be cleared for the next running, you should also be cleared by Parliament. So that at least if you owe Parliament anything, you pay at that particular time. Mr. Speaker, my committee on roads and transportation and housing, we summoned Governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja, after missing numerous invitations. And we fined him 500,000 Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker. Last week, the state governor paid the amount to the Senate, 500,000. But I noted something, Mr. Speaker. He paid through a banker's check, Mr. Speaker. And you know, a banker's check, that money can come to any account. And that is what I'm going to do as a committee. We need to go backward to see where that money came from. So going forward, we should say that money, no banker's check, it should come directly from that governor's account. Why am I saying that, Mr. Speaker? So that it can go on record, such a governor, on such a date, he paid a fine to the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you look at Section 4, it says that a witness shall be given an opportunity to be heard prior to imposition of the fine. Mr. Speaker, yes, we need to listen to them, but if they don't come, what happens? I think we need another clause below there, Mr. Speaker, that says if he does not appear on a day that he is called to come and defend himself, then the committee will have no other alternative. Because if you say he needs to be heard and he never appears, then we leave it ambiguous. There's an ambiguity in that sentence, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill on the same section 4.4 is saying an order of arrest may be effected by a police officer or an authorized officer of a House of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. This should be clear. We need a police department, probably at the Senate or in Parliament, because we are about to issue arrest warrants for a certain governor. And the question came, what if the Inspector General is not willing to effect the arrest? Then it will leave the committee with an egg on their face, Mr. Speaker. So we need a well-articulated and well-organized police department at the Senate, because I see the next victim, or no, the next culprit, not victim. The next culprit on this issue of arrest is the governor of Kiambu, Mr. Speaker, because he has refused to attend the committee of CIPIC 6 times, Mr. Speaker. I'm glad they have invited him for the last time on 4th of March, that is next month. And I implore to my governor, wherever he is, because I know he follows this, please appear. Because if you don't appear, this law will be in effect. You'll either be fined 2 million Kenyan shillings or more, or you will be arrested to be the first governor to be arrested, to be brought to the Senate, Mr. Speaker. If he doesn't want to be an example, he should appear. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, the bill is talking about, that is on section, the same section 4.7. Once a governor is arrested or any witness will be produced before court or the House or committee that summoned that person on the next working days, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you're arrested on a Friday, as it was popular, Kamata Friday, of which I don't think that this Senate would go that direction, you'll have to appear on a Monday. But what if the committee was not prepared to have a meeting on that? You have schedules, Mr. Speaker. So it should not be the next day. It will be the next time that committee is scheduled to sit. So that a certain governor, when you don't appear, you know that Committee on Roads sits every Thursday. So if you're arrested on a Monday, you know what would happen, Mr. Speaker. Because I believe that the governors that we have, Mr. Speaker, they don't take this Senate seriously, and especially those who are senators. It's because they knew, maybe previously, they were not executing their mandate as we are executing now. So it is my submission, Mr. Speaker, that this is a new Senate with the new blood, with the new energy, with the people who understand why they were voted for. So any governor who think that they would not want to appear before the Senate, they should be reminded every morning, every afternoon, that this is a Senate that is not what they left behind, and we have a new leader of majority, that is Aaron Cheruiyot, and we have a new chairman of the roads, that is Karungo Thangwa, the Senator of Kiambu. So they should not play with this Senate. And I support this bill, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Senator Osotsi, for this beautiful bill. Thank you.
Senator Muma, what clarification are you seeking?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise understanding order number 112 for purposes of maintenance of order in the House. could you please, Mr. Speaker, sir, clarify how the money that is now being paid as fines by governors who have been penalized by committees will be appropriated?
Senator Boni, is that your contribution? Because that's an intervention to the bill. Those are the same things that senators should speak to. It's not up to me. I'm your referee here. I cannot direct how this bill will be crafted. I cannot direct how this fine is going to be appropriated. It's up to you as senators, as you debate this. That should come out very clearly.
That is true, Mr. Speaker. I was speaking to the 500 which has already been paid by the governor of Nairobi. The people of Kakamega would like to know how that money will be utilized now that it is in the Senate. And probably you could use that opportunity, Mr. Speaker, sir, to tell the people of Nairobi whether they stand to benefit from that 500, and if they do, into which account was the money deposited in the Senate, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
I thought Senator Boni will know this, having served in CPIC before, a long-serving member of this House, that any public institution, for any resources or money that you collect, go into an A account, appropriations in aid, which you transmit to the Treasury, because you can't spend public money without the approval of Treasury. So, Parliament, for monies that we earn from fines, or even say, for example, training, because there are people who come to Parliament for training and they pay, it's put into our A account and forwarded to the Treasury.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this amendment bill. For the sake of the students in the gallery, we are discussing the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, I wish to congratulate and to thank Senator Osoti for passing this bill. Again, for the sake of our students, I wish to read